But on tonight's, on our stage, she's called The Black Flower. Let's give her some love. Probably make it the history books, the ones that echo in every ceremony and the ones that carries the weight of this nation. And then there is you, just you, not loud, not complete, and not even a full headline, just you. Trying to make a sense of a country you inherited with no guidebook. Trying to honor the stories of those who are gone, those who are still here, and those you will never hear, and those who never got the same microphone to speak about a story. This is one of those stories. Anyways, my name is Verawose Edlin Joyce, and I go by the stage name, The Black Flower. And thank you so much to Spoken Word and to this team, Kwibuka31. This is a piece, the Black Flower, my stage name, that was supposed to perform actually at Kwibuka30, and then I chicken out. So I hope that I probably won't chicken out this time and be able to share. And this piece is called The Small One, and this is how it goes. So the thing is, I was born after the machetes were laid down, and after the bodies were moved, and after the dogs were already fed, and after Nyawarongo has already run red and the world chose to look away. I was born in the years of rebuilding, and when the blood had already soaked inside the soil and the trees had already grown but covered by the ghost. And everybody was saying that the peace has been restored. But what I remember, what I think about, and what I really want to talk about is the cloud. You say, what cloud? So there was this cloud, a heavy cloud, the cloud that never really truly left, and that even when the sun was shining, that the sky still felt so heavy, so blue, and so quiet, and so wrong. No one really sat me down and told me what exactly really happened, but I could feel it in the way that people looked at each other, in the pauses before certain names, in the way that April made my mother breathe very differently, in the way that the kids at my high school already knew who they were and weren't. I didn't really understand that, or maybe I did, and was told not to really talk about it. So this is how I inherited the silent. But I carried it, and later I realized that this silence didn't just hide things, it shaped them. That this silence was not really empty, it was teaching me. It taught me who to trust, who to avoid, and whose name opened doors, and whose names met people that shifted them into their seat. And you can choose to judge me, but I know that I wasn't born with this skill, the skill that will categorize people just by looking at them. I mean, what kind of a skill is that? And I swear I didn't come into the world knowing how to sort people. It was passed to me in a tone, in a caution, in a silence, wrapped in a warning and dressed as a wisdom. And that is the silence I inherited. You might not even know it too, but you probably have this skill too. Not just the silence that forgets, that kind that remembers selectively, that tells the half-truth, that teaches without the exact words. When I got into high school, they asked me where my family was during that time. I actually had no answer, I promise, just complete blackness. But then I felt the the space, the weight of saying that I don't know. Others had stories that made us weep and cry, the stories that made us remember and left us shook. But I just listened and wondered, what if I was allowed to grieve something that I wasn't understand? It was also in between the lines of foreigners who were asking, but by the way, are you a Hutu or a Tutsi? And then I just froze. Because silence doesn't just hand you down the facts, it hands you down the shadow. And with shadow, you learn to feel the pain without actually knowing its name, to see the grief in the room, and no one would actually claim it. But still, you have to be the one to carry it. But here is the truth. This is not the full story. It's just me processing and thinking and a thread in my head because I'm a small one. Because the truth is something way bigger, something that you're not willing to say, and something that we are not willing to listen. So, because of that, I am lighting this candle. And I honor the stories that I will never know, the wounds that I cannot see, and the names that no one told me, and the people who never got the mic. We remember not because we lived it, but because we were born in its wake. We remember so silence ends with us. And if you're with me, I want you to repeat this word after me. Never again, Rwanda. Never not in our name. For those who came before and for those who will come after. Thank you.